being kind to others doesn't mean that you always have to agree or conform to what it is that they expect of you or what it is that they want you to do. Sometimes we may have to change the environment that we're in. It may be time to go a different route, because if you're always feeling uncomfortable in a place, it may be time for you to move. Judgment, we have to have grace on ourselves. All right, you guys, we are back for part 2 of my series on balancing our time with God. And on this part, we will be talking about integrating faith with our daily life. We want to be sure that we are intention setting. We want to be sure that how we are going about our day, we are setting our intentions on how we want to interact with each other. We are being positive. We want to set positive intentions that are rooted in our faith. We want to be sure that how we're showing up each day is a direct representation of our relationship with God and the positive impact that He has in our life and how we can positively impact others around us. We want to be able to carry the love of God and the glow of God throughout our day. So we want to be intentional. When we get up in the morning, we're going to be intentional of having a positive day and being sure that we are doing only things that are positive. So I have to ask, and I ask God every day, anything that is negative or anyone that is negative, keep them away from me. Guard my tongue, guard my thoughts, guard my actions, dear God, and guard my attitude. And I ask Him for that every day. So I try to be intentional that everything that I'm doing is in alignment with my faith and doesn't compromise my faith. So I'm very intentional of the actions that I take every day. Another one is incorporating prayer breaks. Yes, throughout the day, sometimes that you just may need to stop and pray. Definitely for me, when I'm going into a meeting, I'll stop, say a quick prayer to God. If I've been having a difficult time, if I'm starting to notice that everything is bothering me, everything is irritating me, everything is just being nitpicking, and I'm feeling like it's something on my shoulder, stop, take a moment and just pray. It's okay. On my lunch break, if I got a quick little 5 minutes before I start my break, I'll take that little time to pray. Or for me, I like to go ahead the last 5 minutes of my break before I go back. Hey, I'm going back into this place, God. I just pray that you prepare my steps, Lord God. You guide my steps, guide my tongue, guide my actions, dear God. And may the rest of the day be positive. Another one, make sure that we are leading by example. Are you the example that you want to see? Are you the example in the world that you want to see? Lead by example, lead by your actions. If you wanting to see more positive things, how are you showing up? Are you being positive? Make sure that you are speaking life into others. As we want to be sure that we are showing kindness, compassion, and understanding in dealing with others. We want to be sure that we are giving off the love that God would give to us. We are making sure that we are treating love. We want to be sure that we are treating others the way that we want others to treat us. So we have to set and be sure that we are leading by example. Be mindful of the language that we're using. Me personally, I have a hard time with it. I'm trying to stop cursing. I've been cursing for a long time. And I have noticed that music plays a lot into the words that I use. If I stay away from a lot of the music that has a lot of the profane language in it, then I do a lot better as I'm transitioning, because I love music. I love to dance. I love all of those things. And I know they talk about secular music, and I won't give up every song, but I'm very intentional about what it is that I'm listening to, because for me, I don't always know the words. It's the beat for me. So I am noticing that there is a Christian Afrobeats genre, the gospel Afrobeats. I love it. So I'm trying to start learning some of those artists and adding playlists around that, because that's what kind of keeps me motivated, keeps me encouraged, keep me going most of the days. In my office at work, I always just have instrumental jazz music playing, or sometimes I just need that uplifting music. And it's not always, I have to gauge the environments that I'm in. I don't want to make others uncomfortable by always playing gospel, but maybe if they just hear the beat and they don't specifically tune into the word, then I won't really make them as uncomfortable. Some of the challenges that we may come up against when we're integrating faith into our daily life. There may be some challenges that may arise, such as time constraints. You feel like that you have so much to do, you have so much on your plate. You got to do this, you got to get this, you got to get this. And how am I going to make time for God? You make time for Him when you need Him. You make time for Him when you want to ask Him for something. You make time for when it's convenient for you. Make God a priority. Stop making Him an option. And once you make Him a priority, you'll be able to fit in that time. And there's no such thing as there being time constraints to you spending time with God. External expectations. Sometimes we are so influenced by the outside and our peers and what others want from us. And you have to stop worrying about that. I told somebody, I tell people all the time, I serve a God who sits high and look low. I'm not worried about building and growing and having all of these strong relationships with man. I live my life according to what I make sure that my actions are pleasing to God. I don't really care about others, and you want to be kind to others, but being kind to others doesn't mean that you always have to agree or conform to what it is that they expect of you or what it is that they want you to do. Sometimes we may have to change the environment that we're in. It may be time to go a different route, because if you're always feeling uncomfortable in a place, it may be time for you to make some changes. Some of the other challenges we deal with would be guilt and self-judgment. We have to have grace on ourselves. We are not perfect individuals. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have shortcomings. We're going to do things that we're going to make mistakes, okay? And that does not mean that life is over. That does not mean that He's going to stop blessing you. That does not mean that He's no longer going to show up for you. Have grace on yourself. So when you acknowledge those things that you feel like you wasn't your best at, analyze it and see how you can do things different. Don't beat yourself up. We always have to make sure that our emotional burden is not hindering our ability to maintain a positive mindset. Having a positive mindset will get us so far in life. It will get us through so many difficult times and difficult situations. Have to keep a positive mindset, because life is going to be difficult. Life will be negative. People will be negative, but as long as you stay positive and you set the intentions and decide that regardless of what happens and what occurs today, I'm going to be positive. Baby, keep your negative energy over there, because we positive over here. So it starts here. Let that be your foundation, and stop conforming to guilt and self-judgment. Have grace on yourself. Some practical strategies that we can use on this journey with integrating faith into our daily lives. Mindful breathing. Take a moment and just breathe. Because one of my biggest things, what I found out some years back, is when I get upset, I would just take off adrenaline, and I would go and I would do things off adrenaline. And sometimes when I sit back and I take a deep breath and I realize, like, girl, you done flipped the world upside down, where instead now I'm trying to be mindful of when something happens, I take a deep breath before I react, before I respond, before I say things. And just that deep breath gives me time to process it a little bit better, and to also calm any of those inner demons that are trying to formulate and bring themselves out. Not today. So just taking a deep breath. And sometimes when you're just sitting down and you feel like you've been racing around and you feel like you're panting, sit down and take a few deep breaths. Just take a moment. Whatever it is, it'll be there once you're ready for it. And it's crazy that a lot of times when I'm going through things, my watch remind me to take a breath and pause. And it's like, yep, it might be a good time. Another strategy is having a gratitude journal. I used to keep my gratitude journal in the bathroom. I think it's over there on the table. So when I wake up in the morning, while I'm getting myself together, I can write the things that I'm grateful for. Start off your morning by showing gratitude to God. If you need to write it down, write down 3 things that you are thankful for. Write down 5 things that you're thankful for. Go ahead and thank him in advance for what he's going to do for you today or tomorrow. Go ahead and show gratitude first thing in the morning. Get you a gratitude journal. And I do actually have some on my Amazon store. The link to my gratitude journals will be in the description below if you will be interested in getting one, or just grab a notebook and set it aside and know that this is your gratitude journal. Also, make sure that we are speaking daily affirmations to ourselves. We have to speak positivity into us because life is not going to always do it. We can't always expect those around us to be so positive and make us be positive and tell us all these things. We have to affirm ourselves. I have the I Am app on my phone, so I'm constantly getting positive affirmations sent to my phone throughout the day. And a lot of times, sometimes I look at it and it directly relates to something that I've been going through that day or something that's been troubling me. So having those type of apps on your phone, having those notifications, but be sure that every day you are speaking daily affirmations. In my budgeting journal that I've been working on, I have 25 daily affirmations for people to speak abundance and prosperity over their lives. Let's start now with just having a better positive mindset. Speak positive affirmations over yourself every day. If you can't create your own, get on Google, go on Pinterest, go on social media, search the hashtag for affirmations. Find you some affirmations that you can speak over your life every day that reminds you of sticking to your goals, sticking on the course on your faith, and just being positive. Be sure that you find a list of affirmations that you can speak over yourself daily, that you can tell yourself daily, and that can change your mood and help you to have a positive mindset. Or if you're going through a difficult part in the day, stop, say a quick prayer, and read those daily affirmations. Affirm yourself. Affirm yourself in the areas that you have struggles in. Affirm yourself in the areas that you find weakness in. So, thank you so much for tuning in to part 2 of this 3-part series on balancing our time with God. Thank you so much. If you have made it this far, go ahead and like this video so it'll show up on the timeline for others. If you know someone that directly or needs to hear this information, be sure to share this link with them. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Go back and watch part 1, and so you'll also be notified when I drop part 3 to this series. And if you want to further the conversation, you can always drop down in the comments below, as well as head over to my Instagram and send me a direct message if you want to continue to chat about this topic. And thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.